Hi everyone, welcome to the video lecture part 2 aberrations. In this part, I would like to explain the spherical aberration and methods of minimization of spherical aberration. Spherical aberration is the one of the most important aberration of monochromatic aberrations. The definition of spherical aberration: the failure or inability of the lens to form a point image of an axial point object is called spherical aberration. That means the lens failed to form the point image of point object. That means the image is not a point that may be extended along the axis and perpendicular to the axis also. This can be explained as: consider a point source O of monochromatic light placed on the axis of a large aperture convex lens, as shown in figure. In the figure, O is the point object placed on the axis. This is a large aperture convex lens. This horizontal line is principal axis of the lens. The rays which are incident near the axis of the convex lens, called paraxial rays, come to focus at point IP, while the rays incident near the rim or edge of the lens, called marginal rays or peripheral rays, come to focus at point IM. That means these are the light rays which are near to the axis. These rays are called paraxial rays. The light rays near the edge of the lens, that is far away from the axis, are called marginal rays. Paraxial rays meet at farthest IP and the marginal rays meet at IM. The intermediate rays meet in between IM and IP. The paraxial rays form the image at a point distance than the marginal rays. Thus, the image is not sharp at any point on the axis. This defect is called spherical aberration. The reason for spherical aberration: the lens can be supposed to be divided into circular zones. That means middle zone, central zone, marginal zone, etc. Different zones have different focal lengths. The focal length of the marginal zone is lesser than the paraxial zone. Hence, the marginal rays are focused first. That is, the marginal rays suffer greater deviation than paraxial rays. The distance between IM and IP is the measure of longitudinal or axial spherical aberration. If a screen is placed normal to the principal axis at IM, then the image on the screen consists of a circular disc. The disc would be sharply focused at the center but diffused near the outer edge. A disc image would again be obtained if the screen is placed at IP. If the screen is moved between IM and IP, then the size of the disc is minimum in the position AB, where the paraxial and marginal rays cross each other. Due to smallest cross section of the disc image is known as circle of least confusion. The radius of the circle of least confusion is called the lateral spherical aberration. The spherical aberration produced by a concave lens is positive. The spherical aberration produced by a convex lens is positive, while that produced by a concave lens is negative. Now, the methods of minimization of spherical aberration. The spherical aberration may be minimized by using stops, by using a suitable combination of convex and concave lenses placed in contact, by dividing the deviation equally, by using cross lens, by using apollonic lens, by using two plano-convex lenses separated distance coaxially. Now, first of all, I would like to explain the first method. By means of stops, we can minimize the spherical aberration. The spherical aberration can be minimized by using stops. The stops used may be such a nature that it permits only the axial rays and stops the marginal rays, or permits the marginal rays and stops the axial rays. That means a stop is placed before the convex lens in such a way that either marginal rays or parallax rays should cut off. This method is not generally used because the intensity of the image is very much reduced. The second method is by using two suitable lenses in contact. In case of convex lens, the spherical aberration is positive, while in case of concave lens, the spherical aberration is negative. That means in case of convex lens, the marginal image IM lies towards the left of the parallax image IP, while in case of concave lens, the marginal image IM lies towards the right of the parallax image IP. Thus, by a suitable combination of convex and concave lenses, the spherical aberration may be minimized. But this combination works only for a particular pair of object and image for which it is designed. The next method is by using cross lens. In case of a lens, the deviation produced by two surfaces will be best and equal if R1 by R2 is equal to 2 mu square minus mu minus 4 by mu into 2 mu plus 1, where R1 and R2 are the radii of curvatures of the two surfaces of the lens. Mu is the refractance of the lens material. The lens satisfying this condition is known as cross lens. If mu is equal to 1.686, then R1 by R2 is equal to 0. Hence, a plano-convex lens of mu is equal to 1.686 serves the purpose of cross lens. By using cross lens, we can minimize the spherical aberration. Now, the next method is by dividing the deviation equally. The spherical aberration may be minimized by using a plano-convex lens. The general rule to minimize the spherical aberration in a plano-convex lens is that the convex side should face the incident or emergent beam, whichever is more parallel to the axis. The spherical aberration is proportional to the square of the total deviation produced by the lens. If delta is the total deviation produced by the lens and delta 1 and delta 2 are the deviations produced at the two surfaces of the lens respectively, then the spherical aberration is proportional to delta square, that is proportional to delta 1 plus delta 2 whole square, that is proportional to delta 1 plus delta 2 whole square plus 4 delta 1 delta 2, which is obviously minimum when delta 1 is equal to delta 2, that is the deviation is equally divided at the two surfaces. So, the spherical aberration can be minimized by dividing the deviation of light rays equally at the two surfaces of the lens. Now, the next method is by using apollonic surface, we can minimize the spherical aberration. An apollonic surface is characterized by the property of forming a point image of point object placed on the principal axis. The image and object points are known as apollonic foci of the surface. A spherical refracting surface is apollonic with respect to the position of the object at distance r by mu from the center of curvature, where r is the radius of curvature of the surface and mu is the refractance of the denser medium in which the object is placed. Then the image is formed at a distance mu r from the center of curvature, which is free from spherical aberration. Now, the last method is we can minimize the spherical aberration by using two plano-convex lenses separated by distance coaxially. The spherical aberration can be minimized by using two plano-convex lenses of the same material placed at a distance equal to the difference of their focal lengths. Figure shows two planar convex lenses of focal lengths f1 and f2 separated by distance d coaxially. Let a ray of light AB parallel to the axis meet the first lens L1 at a height h1 and suffers a deviation delta 1, which is equal to h1 by f1. This is directed towards f1 dash, the second focal point of L1. The refracted ray BC strikes the lens L2 at a height h2 and suffers a deviation delta 2, which is equal to h2 by f2. The emergent ray meets the axis at f dash, the second focal point of the combination. For minimum spherical aberration, delta 1 is equal to delta 2. Therefore, h1 by f1 is equal to h2 by f2, or h1 by h2 is equal to f1 by f2. That is equation 1. From similar triangles B L1 f1 dash and C L2 f1 dash, h1 by h2 is equal to L1 f1 dash by L2 f1 dash. That is equal to f1 by L1 f1 dash minus L1 L2. That is equal to f1 by f1 minus d. That is equation 2. Comparing equations 1 and 2, we get f1 by f2 is equal to f1 by f1 minus d. Therefore, f2 is equal to f1 minus d, or d is equal to f1 minus f2. This is the required condition for minimum spherical aberration, for minimizing the spherical aberration. That means the distance between the two lenses should be equal to difference of their focal lengths. In this way, we can minimize the spherical aberration by using any of the methods, by using stops, by using a suitable combination of convex and concave lenses, by using the cross lens, by using the apoplectic surface, or by using the a suitable combination of two thin lenses placed separated by distance coaxially. Now, I will explain the remaining defects, coma, astigmatism, curvature of field, distortion in the next video lecture. Thank you.